Meeting for November 4th, 2014. I call this meeting to order and ask the clerk to please call the roll.
Trustee Aaron?
Here.
Kammerer?
Here.
Carbonaro?
Here.
Martin?
Here.
Ranke?
Here.
Shipman?
Here.
President Wallace?
Present. First item on our Committee of the Whole meeting this evening is under Public Works. It's under the Potable Water Study. Chairman Ahrens.
Boy. Last in, first out, right? The potable water study. This is a comparison by options of what the water rates might be. And once again, we have our beloved Mr. Bartlett.
Well, thank you. I only have two slides in this PowerPoint today, unlike the 50 that we've had in the past. I can go through any of the previous slides and any of the information, but what we have up on the screen is a summary for you of the different alternatives that we have discussed over the last year. The first alternative we looked at is keeping the status quo, was the mix between you obtaining water from Elgin and your wells. The second one was to change to 100% Elgin supply, and we put the caveat that we have a short we can do that immediately within 5 years or within 10 years. We looked at converting, getting rid of Elgin and reconfiguring our system to provide 100% wells. And then the last two versions, the more expensive ones, were obtaining Lake Michigan either from the Jawa, the North Suburban Jawa, or the DuPage Water Commission. So those were the five alternatives that we have discussed at great length. You may recall in the last discussion, we identified backup power, the need for an interconnect, and we put all those factors in all of the different options so that you could digest that. So, okay. It's not. It's not ridiculous.
Oh, yeah.
You fixed it?
It was on, yeah.
It's on, but it's not moving. Of course, there's only one. I'm saying it's not working.
USB plugged in?
There's a joke about engineers here somewhere.
Yeah, and I didn't.
We can just get you a ladder.
All right. Okay. All right. So this is a lot of numbers, but as you can tell, what we try to do is to break this into three categories. First of all, looked at the a 5,000 gallons per month user, an 8,000 gallons per month user, and a $10,000 gallons per month user to give you an idea of the different range in the use. Under your current 2014 rates, you can see that it's $6.36 for per 1,000 gallons, which is pretty amazing when you think about it, per 1,000 gallons of water. And you can see what the normal person is paying today for their water bill. And if you inflated that at 4.3%, which has been the historical average, that the village has increased the existing water rates based on your current mix at 4.3% annually, you can see what that would be at 2019. And you can see what the water bill would be. So what we did is we took a look at this number, the current rate, inflated to the different to 2019, and we compared all the alternatives. And if you remember alternative one, which is the status quo, there still was a need to upgrade the pumps when we gave a bracket, whether you could do 2 wells or 3 wells. In alternative 2, there's a bracketing here because we had whether or not you immediately got rid of your wells and made that second connection to Elgin, That was the low level. That was the lower. The higher one was getting rid of everything and connecting up to Elgin by 2019. The lower one was doing that over time, where you use up your some of the capacity in your existing wells. Finally, an alternative 3, which was, of course, the change to 100% wells. The range is whether you have 5 new wells or 6 new wells. So that's the range there. And what we did together with Jeff was instrumental in helping us prepare this and look at all these numbers. You can see what the difference would be compared to the status quo for each one of these alternatives. So if you look at a 5,000 gallons per month user, the alternative 2 would range from an increase of $8 a month. Okay. I don't think I did that. I don't think.
I think Jim leaned on the PC. There you go.
Okay.
Nope, got it.
Okay. All right. So this was for the alternative 2. The alternative 2 was to change to 100%. The range was increased $8 or up to $96 annually for this user, and you guys can read numbers. You can understand what the differences are. 8,000 would user would pay annually $154 more. The big 10,000 gallons per month user would see an increase of almost $200 per year if you're comparing it to the existing condition. So what we did is we looked at it, and yes, the 100% wells, there is a lower cost per month and per annual for the user compared to the existing condition. And that, of course, is the good news is the residents pay a lower rate. The bad news is that, if you recall, there's a lot of capital improvements that you are going to have to incur. And finally, there is a big difference if you look here with alternatives 4 and 5. So this is, I believe, what the Mayor, you asked for, is a comparison of the rates and bracketing the potential increases. So that's really what I wanted to summarize. I think we went through a lot of what we included based on the last set of presentation material.
Thank you. Any questions?
Can we get a copy of that slide?
Absolutely.
It's in your.
Oh, you have
It's
one?
in the packet.
On the back.
We got it.
Yeah, this one is very difficult to read.
Okay, we'll get it in larger.
It has approximately the same information, but it's much more difficult to read. Or, as Trustee Shipman put it, this one sucks.
I don't think it's
What is it here?
that high.
Different layout.
Is it the coloring?
So the bottom line is then the wells are cheaper in the short term, but in the longer term, we're going to have to take into consideration the capital improvements.
Yes, the answer is yes. There are significant capital improvements that you have to incur, and the long-term reliability and the need to increase the treatment because of the uncertain quality of the water.
And the water table level.
The water table level as well.
Yeah. One of the things you had mentioned previously, Dr. Burke, was that disturbed me the most with the option 3. 2 things, actually. One of them was the water table level, which is absolutely unpredictable, from what I understand.
That's correct.
And number 2 is the ongoing attempts at keeping the water safe, which is an unknown as well, because once you drill new wells, you've got to test them continually, and we could have the same problem with barium and everything else we're having now.
That's correct.
That's the 2 things I remember about option 3.
Yes.
And some of those things are impossible to factor into this new graph.
That's correct.
That's also option 1, too.
Right. Yeah, we're living with that right now, right?
1 and 3, same.
Yeah.
Under option 2,
Yes.
it's been a while. You had a good presentation. I have to go over this, sorry. The immediate need for the second pipe, 5 years. 10 years?
Well, in the higher number, that was, you're doing it all by 2019. That was a second connection, that was a second connection to Elgin. If the other option was to wait, use up some life of your existing treatment, and do that in the second, after 10 years. And so that was, you didn't have to put as much cost in with the low number there.
Wouldn't we save more money if we went to the 100% because the rate would drop?
Would you save more money? You would certainly eliminate some cost of your cost, but incur the purchase price for the water from Elgin. So there's a trade-off there, and that's why the numbers are higher on the alternative 2 high side. There's the additional cost. And so we're almost, for alternative 2 on the low side, you're probably very close to the status quo.
Okay.
So if you went and started getting rid of, make that second connection, obviously there are additional costs that you incur between now and 2019.
Okay. And if we went with option 2, we could still use the wells as a backup for
Yes,
how many years?
You can. I wish I was good in forecasting, but you could use them for a period of time. And a lot of people have used them until it gets expensive to exercise and keep them in shape.
Okay. Thank you.
If I'm reading the report right, Dr. Burke, the construction of the second Elgin connection wouldn't be required for at least 10 years.
Yes, under that would be for this low, alternative 2 low.
Right. Because of the usage and the amount of supply that they have, we wouldn't have to worry about it for at least 10 years.
Well, yes, you could, under that alternative, the second part of alternative 2, you would just say, look, we've got some wells, we're going to grab another million or so, we're going to grab more water from Elgin than we're taking today, but we're going to wean ourselves off, and that gives us time to use up some monies that we have already invested in our water treatment facility for the wells, and use up some of the life expectancies of some of the wells. But you could start decommissioning some of the poor performing wells in that low alternative.
Any other questions?
Just one real quick one. Part of the expense of alternative 2 was the it's pretty hard for me to swallow, is the fact that we have to pay early contract termination. If we phase it in slower, and this might be a silly question, but if we phase it in slower, do we reduce that ridiculous expense?
Yes. That's that lower alternative there.
That's it. That's already built into the lower alternative.
Yes.
Okay.
Right, Mark? Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Burke.
Thank you.
Where do we go from here? Thank you, Dr. Burke.
Well, let me just recap. We have been reviewing this.
Are we going to get another 40-page presentation from Dr. Burke?
I'm going to get there in the end.
Okay.
We've been reviewing this proposal since June of this year, and we have had 5 presentations now, and then we had sort of a before the board meeting public hearing. And Trustee Shipman asked me at the last meeting what the time frames were, and I said we still retain some flexibility depending upon which option you choose. A couple of these options will require us to do some significant debt work to have money to do some significant improvements. All of these options require us to begin to put in some capital improvements, some more than others. And so I guess I would say that the flexibility is beginning to wane a little bit. I think the timing is getting there where I think it's appropriate for the board to come up with any final questions, if there are any, and then give some direction to the board or to the staff to go negotiate some contracts and make it work to do the option that you have selected. These are just, in many cases, some estimates on what we think from some different areas. We spent 2 or 3 years making sure those estimates were pretty solid, but there's still a lot of negotiating to do with every single one of these estimates. So I think it would be appropriate when the board feels comfortable to pick one and tell us to go negotiate a deal and bring it back.
Let's do it now.
Here would be my opinion after going through this for so much time. Option 2 seems to be viable, and if the general public is not happy about option 3, which is $22 million in additional debt to drill wells, I think that's always on the table as long as we don't cap our wells.
Right.
Right? So,
And that is something we do not have to do.
yeah. So my opinion is that we instruct staff to go and get some contracts negotiated, at least get started. That's my opinion.
I'm in accordance with that.
I agree.
The others don't, given all the information, the others don't seem as cost-effective or as feasible. Anybody else want to jump in?
I think 4 and 5 are totally outrageous. We can't afford that.
In terms of reliability and long-term viability, option 2 seems to make the most sense. It's not the cheapest in the short term, but sometimes you get what you pay for.
And we're talking about the low end, alternate 2, the low and the high, talking about going with the low one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyone? Go ahead.
With the board's permission, then should we go ahead and direct staff to start negotiations?
That would be my suggestion.
I would
Or do we need to?
still come before us one more time on the committee,
It would.
at least.
Yeah, we'd come back at least one more time after negotiating contracts.
Absolutely, and I would have the 40-year agreement, the proposed 40-year agreement with Elgin.
Well, and I think it's important when we talk about, when we talk to Elgin, that they understand that we do have viable options.
They know that.
Okay.
They're very aware of our
I'm
options.
sorry if I cut you off.
No, that's all right, thank you. And I would just also encourage staff and board members and everyone alike to reach out to our residents and make sure that they understand the importance of this, and that if they have comments, now is the time.
I think that is absolutely essential right now, because this is a very long-term decision. So hopefully a lot of people will be listening to this, and we've been talking about this for quite some time. There's some familiar faces in the crowd that have been here with us while we're talking about this. But it's not a simple decision, but it is a very long-term decision. So I would really encourage us to make sure we get the word out that if anybody has opinions on this, we need to hear back from them.
We'll do that again.
Perhaps some of our local friends in the local media
In the media.
willing to help us push that message a little bit.
Yeah.
Perhaps. Okay, then we'll leave it at that. We instruct the staff to go ahead and start the negotiation process and to keep us abreast.
And we will do so. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chairman Ahrens. Next item on our Committee of the Whole meeting agenda is under the Finance and Golf Committee, Chairman Ranke.
Thank you, Mr. President. On Finance and Golf, this evening we have the economic development video for what seems like the fourth time. So hopefully this will be the last time that we discuss this item. With that, I'll turn it over to staff.
Bitter.
The last time we looked at this proposal, there were some ideas about incorporating the high school into it, Trustee Cameron, and looking at some other options, and I think that we have put together a program with the EDC that is able to include those ideas that we had come up with. We have an additional company that we'd like you to look at in terms of the ad. And thirdly, there was a request from the board last time to have Tony talk about our overall economic development strategy and how this kind of marketing tool fits in with our strategy. And Tony's here today to do that. So, Paula, are we starting with you, or are we starting?
Start with me.
We're going to start with Paula.
Work that way. This is the third time that you've talked about this project, as Valerie mentioned. And from the last time that we were at committee, the village was approached by A Light on the Hill Productions, and they submitted a proposal that's included in your packet for videos of various lengths and various costs based on the number of minutes. The video is in length, and they also provided us with an example of one of the videos that they did for a local business, Herman Ultrasonics. So I wanted to give you the opportunity to see that now.
Ultrasonics, a technology mastered by only a few specialists. Welcome to Herman Ultrasonics. Located just west of Chicago, we are the ultrasonic experts with over 50 years of ultrasonic technology experience. Ultrasonic technology and process is used to bond, laminate, emboss, cut, and split various materials commonly used in the hygiene, medical, lights, automation, and filtration markets, and much more efficiently and consistently than conventional processing methods. High-power ultrasonic energy is concentrated at defined bond points, where frictional heat is created by the ultrasonic process to bond non-woven film or textile materials together, creating the required strength and appearance. Environmentally friendly and energy efficient, ultrasonic solutions use up to 75% less electric energy, and without the addition of consumables, such as adhesives or hot glue. We at Herman Ultrasonics encourage our prospective and current customers to conduct feasibility studies by visiting our laboratory, which we do with the most advanced testing and measuring equipment. On our high-speed lab counters, we can run trials at web speeds of up to 500 meters per minute with your production material, using a wide range of existing bond patterns or new custom patterns developed specifically for your application. We then verify the results by testing the ultrasonic bond of your samples for tear resistance, tensile strength, and water impermeability. The knowledgeable sales and application engineers at Herman Ultrasonics are available to demonstrate and document a proven and reliable process solution for your unique project. Choose from Herman Ultrasonics' innovative line of products to suit your specific application. The Microbond CSI module for high generator output power and scalable widths. The Microbond RSP for delicate welding and high-speed applications. And the EasyBond CSI, a modular design for basic applications. Our engineering team can design and build customized integration solutions to fit your requirements. For efficient, sustainable, and consistent processing of non-woven composite materials, films, or paper, contact the experts at Herman Ultrasonics, the technology leader in the field of ultrasonic equipment and expertise. We look forward to working with you.
So in the packet that you received, that video would be similar to the first option of the 3-minute produced video for $9,800. And then the price increases as the number of minutes increase. And so those we have this proposal, we have the mode proposal. We had a proposal from 435 Digital, which is an arm of the Tribune Company. But when we looked at what they provided to us and really what the focus of that arm of the company was, it was more about website production and social media maximization, and not really video production. It wasn't really what they were there for. So we decided that they would not be a good option to present to you. Tony, do you want to talk about how you think we would use something like this?
Yes, thank you. Thanks, Valerie. Promotional videos like this one, highlighting various facets of the village, could be an important part of the overall marketing strategy that the village utilizes, in addition to things that we've been currently doing and doing for years, such as print ads and trade show participation, soliciting businesses via their brokers and directly to the businesses. So this could be a useful tool to be used by both elected officials and staff for pursuing new businesses and also for retaining and promoting existing businesses, to help enhance Bartlett's quality of place characteristics. The videos, in the sense that the village would use it, would promote the village as a distinctive, attractive, and compelling place to live, to invest, to open your business, relocate your business, perhaps expand into this market, and as a way to differentiate it also from some of the neighboring communities. The way it could be utilized, again, from an economic development standpoint, could be a series of shorter videos that highlight various facets of the village. A few that I suggested in the memo would be one highlighting Brewster Creek Business Park as a strong site for industrial, light manufacturing, warehouse distribution businesses, as well as highlighting some of the food-related businesses that are in the food cluster that's been emerging out there over the past few years. Another one could be made to highlight retail opportunities. Bartlett has many unique businesses, many entrepreneurs, many small businesses, mom and pop and family-run businesses, and a short video like this could be utilized to promote unique and independent business growth in Bartlett, including some of the members within the Chamber of Commerce. A third suggestion is Bartlett has been attracting a lot of new restaurants, eateries throughout the downtown area and the rest of the village, with a few more to come. And one of the types of businesses that's already existing that could be promoted throughout the community through a video like this could be the eating establishments throughout the village. Fourth one suggested is a general quality of life one. It does tie into economic development efforts. It can show schools, government responsiveness, cultural and recreational amenities, public services, and public safety. A lot of the things that the village is known for could be highlighted in this type of video. They'd be used in a variety of venues and platforms, including at area trade shows and business expos. Videos can be used as links in email correspondences, can be put on the village's website, of course, broadcast on the cable channel and social media platforms. For a greater reach, a shorter video or a series of shorter videos could be put on local Comcast cable broadcasts to reach a wider targeted regional audience. Also, YouTube has a pay-per-click feature that could be utilized where people looking at YouTube videos within a certain radius would have a Bartlett commercial start loading. You've all seen them, and you have to watch a certain amount of time before you can click off of them. But if people watch it through, then that's considered a pay-per-click. The videos could be helpful in helping to strengthen a strong branding message for the village. Where people are not only looking at print ads or things that are written on our websites, but can see the video aspect of it, see some pictures, see some highlights. So I do think this could be used in a very wide variety of ways to help promote the village, both inside and outside the community.
Tony, there were some concerns about people not standing watching a video at a trade show, and you were just at ICSC, and
Right.
they actually handed them out on flash drives.
Yes, thank you for reminding me of that. These videos can be downloaded on USB flash drives. Paul is correct. At a big trade show, it's unlikely that somebody's going to stand at a booth and watch a minute-long or a multi-minute-long video. But more common is to download information about a community, including videos, demographics, available spaces, things of that nature, on a USB drive, and that's a commonly utilized format now at area trade shows. Somebody might be more likely to accept one of those and review it at a later time than to stand at your booth and watch a video for a few minutes. Thank you.
Putting money aside out of the three packages, You think the middle one would suit us the best? We could do 2 minutes and then 3 1 minutes?
Let me flip to that one.
Obviously, some of these would have to be filmed in the spring.
Yes to both. Starting with one of the longer ones would be the more encompassing quality of life type video. That might be a 2 or 3 minute long one, but the ones that I was referencing for the business park or for retail expansion, those would be more appropriate to be a 1 minute long type video. So yeah, one of the 7 minute package, which should be more than sufficient to get started with.
Well,
You don't think Brewster Creek would be a 2 minute? I mean, that's one of our biggest assets.
That would be worth considering to do that one a little bit longer. That's the one I listed first, and I think could be a valuable tool for economic development marketing purposes. So I can't state exactly what the timing would be on it, but very snappy, and yet a minute and a half to 2 minutes would probably be best.
I don't think we dispute the fact that the video could be used. What I have a little concerned about is in our last meeting, I did bring up the fact that I thought it might be a good way to build relationships with the high school, and we'd already talked about the college, the ECC building, or approaching them potentially, having this. First of all, at the last meeting we talked about whether or not South Elgin could even do it. And so I was waiting for that feedback, and I never heard whether you talked with the, Paula, I'm directing this question to now, whether you talked to the CEO of U46 and discussed the feasibility of South Elgin even being able to do a project like this.
From what I've talked to Tony Saunders about is that they certainly have the capability to do that, but they would want a little more feedback from us on parameters, and similar to the proposal from COD, it would have to have a lot of staff involvement to do something like that. The other option was discussed by the Economic Development Commission to make sure that the high school was involved in a contest focusing on shopping local, producing a video that would have less parameters, less guidance from us, but more flexibility for the students.
I just kind of see it as being something we're kind of sweeping the other two options under the rug for as this contest goes.
Not at all.
And I don't know. I think we're just looking at, I know the idea of getting a professional company to make this look professional, but you know, at the cost of doing it, and we really don't know much about what the options are with the high school and with the college and with ECC or COD or any of that at this point in time.
COD is not video production. It's more print marketing and website focused. It's their marketing classes at COD, that particular program, working with the classroom, in the classroom.
Well, I would just like to see more feedback from those organizations about what they could do and how we go about it, instead of just saying, yeah, we'll just go with the company. So,
Isn't this the second company that we've got a proposal from? I'm a little confused because I thought we already went past this already.
Precisely.
I thought we would already hired that mode or
No,
going to.
we hadn't already hired.
You just wanted to come up with some different opportunities?
Yeah, when we presented the mode video is when Light on the Hill came forward and said, you know, we're here in Bartlett, we're local, and we provide the same kind of services. We'd like to present a proposal to you.
Okay.
And then also, Trustee Cameron raised the issue that perhaps we ought to give the whole project to South Elgin if they are capable of doing that, and be able to involve them in this as well. So then we had a couple of our options, so we brought them back.
There was a cutoff date on the first one, too, right? They wanted to...
No. There's no
Get it in
cutoff.
at a certain time or something like that. So they could put it on the TV. Wasn't that what Bradshaw or something?
No, that wasn't mode. That wasn't.
Oh, okay.
There was no time frame with that.
Refresh my memory, what was the mode's time of their video? Like, how long was it going to be? Wasn't it 4 or 5 minutes or something, or
Mode was 3 minutes.
3 minutes for $14,000 or something?
Yes.
$13,850.
And they were... I agree with Tony when it comes to these videos that anybody that we agree to work with hopefully will... Editing is key here. They would edit it up and chop it up into little minute sections of... so you have one overarching video that plays at like maybe the train station or something, or on our cable station, and then you've got mini 1-minute videos highlighting different areas that are useful for that particular department. I think that would be ideal, whoever does wind up doing the work. And I don't know why the Economic Development Commission couldn't just run with the contest and just leave us out of that. I mean, they can just run with the South Elgin contest, let them go.
And that's what we're proposing, is that you fold in the South Elgin option as well as the EDC and any other school children. You have different categories. I think we laid that out in the memo, and tie it into a local shop in Bartlett.
Yeah.
Kind of a theme, which I think works nicely for that as well.
Yeah.
Mr. Fraden, I appreciate your comments. I appreciate your memo. The problem I have with this entire video thing has remained the same. We don't get a strong sense of the message that we are trying to convey. It's one thing to have video like Paula just showed, where we're selling industrial machinery. Hey man, it's industrial machinery. We've got laminates, we've got footage of machines operating. That's great, but selling Bartlett, I think, is a little bit different. And we seem somewhat schizophrenic about our approach. Are we talking about trying to attract residents? Are we trying to attract businesses? Are we talking about attracting certain segments of businesses? I think we need to get the brand, we need to get the message straight, especially if we're talking about spending $10,000, $20,000 on a video. It's a lot of money, and I think we need to hone in on that, on the message before we go any further and before we have a fourth, as Ms. Schumacher pointed out to me, corrected me, that before we have a fourth review of this matter.
I think Trustee Ranke's comments are well taken. And I believe staff is already kind of lined up to work with Spartan Consulting. Is that correct? With Spartan Consulting, they're already going to be doing something with us.
That's right.
Well, maybe we can begin to incorporate some of their recommendations into some video suggestions or something like that. I completely understand what Trustee Ranke's saying. When we had our strategic planning mission, I kind of jokingly referred to the concept of come to Bartlett, like the old Jamaican commercials. And while that was meant to be very tongue-in-cheek, the reality was there has to be something. There's got to be a hook.
Right.
And, or that's at least my opinion. Now, maybe municipal marketing isn't that way, and if the experts say that it's not, then I'll shut up and get out of the way. But it just seems to me that there's got to be something here. What's our theme?
I kind of disagree with both of you about the matters for detail on this. Video rules the world now. And if you can get some kind of a video created in a really nice, neat, succinct way that outlines the entire village's accommodating features for residents, for businesses, for everything, there are tons of uses for something like that. I disagree that you guys think it has to be so technical and so precise as to the methodology that you have to do it in.
Well,
go ahead.
Okay. We'll do it alphabetically. First, if I remember my song correctly. I don't think we're being technical. I think we're just asking to know what the message is going to be. Where are we going with this?
Well, I think
I don't think that's technical. I think that's common sense. It's not just finding a way to spend money on a video. It's actually figuring out a way to market the village.
Right. And part of it would be Brewster Creek, part of it would be retail, part of it would be dining, part of it would be quality of life, schools, government responsiveness, cultural, recreational amenities, and public services. public safety, an overarching video that you can pull parts of that out and use for different reasons.
Right.
3 minutes.
In 6 minutes, 5 minutes, whatever it is.
So you'd be surprised. Think about the commercials you see on TV. Most commercials are 30 seconds. 30 to 45 seconds. And there's quite a bit packed into those commercials. So I don't see a problem with 3 minutes, and including a good taste of what Bartlett is. And I think that's what these people are in business to do. So the onus is on them.
Indeed.
Well, we need some direction, whatever direction it may be. So, Chairman Ranke.
Yeah, I'll rest on my previous comments. I won't repeat myself.
Can I just make a comment relative to your previous comments? We take our direction in terms of what the message is from what this board has put in place in terms of our branding, and that is never close to home. This board some of you may not selected that, but for better or for worse, that is our brand. We have a logo and we use it. And in fact, we sell our whole town, because I don't think that when people are looking to move here in terms of an industry, they want to know more than just that industry and the roads and the utilities and the tax base. The president of that company may want to move to Bartlett. So we need to be able to sell the town as a whole. It's schools, it's downtown, it's restaurants. When a restaurant's going to come to Bartlett, it wants to know more than just about the per capita income and the age groups. They want to know a whole lot more about what other restaurants are there, what industries. We are, in almost every case, selling our entire community every time we do a proposal.
I think if you do any of these, you got to go with 7 because there's so many facets. But I wouldn't spend more than, say, a minute on why you should move to Bartlett. I mean, people are going to move to Bartlett for a number of reasons after all these are encompassed, and they see them. They'll be like, hey, that might be a good place to live. But it's, we need to get the business here. That's what this is for. It's not like, come, look, we've got parks, we've got swing sets. People,
but they care about that.
Well, yeah, but that's secondary. They want to know why the water is good. They want to know that there is a business park. They want to know that they have government support. So I think we need to focus more so on the business. Maybe you do 1 out of the 7 minutes on, obviously, yeah, dining, that's part of business, so that would cover. But you loop it all together. You have one tagline. You keep using the tagline. I have an advertising degree, and, I know how to do that. But you just keep it on message. And then you have one like, oh, it's a great community, that's 1 minute. You have the business park, that's 2 minutes. You have downtown eatery, that's another minute. I mean, all those will tie in. You keep using the same tagline, and that's your marketing plan. You can't do it in 3 minutes.
Trustee Shipman, I think I cut you off.
No, I said my piece.
Okay. All right. So is there any further comments from the board? Okay. Thank you.
Thanks.
Mr. President, that's all we have for finance and golf.
Do we need to direct them to do anything with economic development video?
I think the direction was fairly clear.
Okay. You got it? All right. Thank you, Chairman Ranke. At this point, we will be moving into executive session. And then once that is completed, I need a motion to proceed into executive session to discuss the sale or lease of property pursuant to Section 2C6 of the Open Meetings Act.
So moved. Second.
Moved by Trustee Martin, seconded by Trustee Kammerer. Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Ahrens?
Yes.
Kammerer?
Yes.
Carbonaro?
Yes.
Martin?
Yes.
Ranke?
Yes.
Shipman?
Yes.